Hey, welcome back to Snapbolt Games. My name is Max, and this is Lewin, and we're back with the top 5 commons for Pauper from Duskmourn. I'm going to real quickly shout out the channel, then get into these top 5. It's youtube.com/snapbolt. Go to my channel and check it out. I have a lot of Pauper videos on there. I've been playing a lot of Vintage Cube. Subscribe to my channel if you want to support me. It's really the best way to do so. And without further ado, let's get right into this top 5, starting with Abandoned Campground. This is actually just a stand-in for this full cycle. There's 10 of these. They all have the same ability. They all enter the battlefield tapped unless the player has 13 or less life, and they all tap for 2 colors of mana. Now, these are pretty narrow in application because you can't care about like the basic land type, like a swamp for Snuff Out or a forest for Utopia Sprawl, that sort of thing, or Lorien Revealed. But if your deck has none of that going on, I could see these finding a home in a couple decks. I don't know exactly what those are yet. But an untapped dual and popper, even one that has this pretty hefty restriction, does potentially have a place in popper. So that's why it made the list there. Let's move on to the number 4 card. The number 4 card I have trapped in the screen. This is basically Oblivion Ring with Ward 2. This is 3-mana enchantment, Ward 2. When it enters, exile target artifact, creature, enchantment, and opponent controls until trapped in the screen leaves the battlefield. So it's basically, again, O-Ring Ward 2. Um, why is this good? Because it actually just states exile target artifact, creature, or enchantment. So affinity is kind of a problem, right? So if you have this in your deck, you have an O-Ring that's like a Journey to Nowhere Ward 2 for their Mirror Forces and stuff. But if you're on the play, you can also just hit their artifact lands. And hitting the bridges seems really good. It exiles them, and then even if they dealt with trapped in the screen, they have to pay Ward 2, then their bridge comes back and tapped. This seems pretty solid, and now just talking about it more, potentially it should be a little bit higher on the list. Maybe it should be ahead of this next card. I'm not sure. But without further ado, let's get right into the number 3 card. From Duskmourn, I have Final Vengeance. Yeah, thinking about it more, these should be switched, but let's stick with it for now. Final Vengeance, 1 black sorcery, as additional cost to cast, sack a creature or enchantment. Loses, getting pretty much over this. You over it? And you get to exile target creature. I don't know exactly where this fits either, but exiling is pretty huge in Pauper, especially when so many people are like recurring creatures with Blood Fountain, that sort of thing. There could be cheap enchantments that have like ETB effects that you want to sack. I'm not really sure, but this card does seem pretty powerful, so made the list in the number 3 slot. Now, let's get into the number 2 card. The number 2 and the number 1 card are really good. Uh, these will both certainly see play, especially the number 1 card I'm hyped to try. But number 2, we have Grab the Prize. 2-mana sorcery, as an additional cost, discard a card, then draw 2 cards. If the discarded card wasn't a land, Grab the Prize deals 2 damage to each opponent. Now, this just seems so good in the Rakdos Madness deck to me. Maybe not at the 4 because it's kind of expensive. You can't plot it like you can the other, effect that does the same thing. 2-mana, discard a card, draw 2 has been a staple. They keep reprinting it with slightly different effects. The last one had plot. So you can't plot and then cast your madness cards, but once you get to 3 mana, you just play grab the prize, you discard your madness card, this deals 2, and then you still get to cast your madness card. So this is like a looting effect in that deck, card advantage. That also deals damage to them, which is exactly what the Rakdos Magnus deck wants. So yeah, I see this being this guy's so over it. I see this being pretty good specifically in that deck, and maybe other decks could play it as well, but most likely just in that Rakdos Madness deck. Okay, now let's get into the number 1 card. It is Clockwork Percussionist. This card just seems insane in Kuldotha Red to me. It has everything you want. 1 mana, 1/1 haste. It's an artifact. When it dies, exile the top card of your library. You may play it until the end of your next turn. So this just has so much synergy with the deck. 1 mana, 1/1 haste is like a little bit below par for the deck, but maybe not by much. The deck already plays a 1 mana, 1/2 haste with like, a decent ability, medium ability, but this just being a 1 mana, 1/1 haste, it can sack to like your Kuldotha Rebirths and maybe some other cards. Also, you can just like potentially play around. Like you might say, oh, they can kill it while you're tapped out. Yeah, but what if you wait till turn 2? Just play it, leave up Bolt, and then if they kill it, you can play. Oh no, you can play the card till the end of your next turn. So it doesn't even matter if you're tapped out. It just got even better than I thought. This card just seems so insane. Like you're gonna get card advantage. You can just send in. Opponent's gonna be like, well, you could be in a situation even where they can just eat it. Then if they do, you're just gonna get to play the card anyway. And then if they kill it on their turn, you have till your next end step. So yeah, seems really good in Kaldatha Red. It's an artifact. Could be really good. This guy's super over it. I made him hang out for the whole video. But anyway, that's my top 5 comments from Duskmourn for Pauper. Thanks so much for watching. YouTube.com/snapbolt. Till next time. Peace. Okay, dude, let's go. We'll get a treat. Should we get a treat? Treat? Okay, come on. Peace.